leaning way forward here. This is too forward. Okay, Goblin Cave. You were here last time, weren't you? Or no, you submitted or something? Is that why I know your name? I think you're coming up in a few weeks or something. I can't remember. I don't know what our schedule looks like. We have. Let me see here. I should sidechain too. Here we go. I'm not yelling over the music anymore. Okay, coming up, we have James. That's the Goblin Cave Studios. That's next week. Cool. You're currently the only person for next week because we had 4 other people unable to go in November. They just weren't available, so they're all in December instead. So December 5th and 12th are stacked right now. Full up. Hey everyone. Thanks for coming in. We're doing... We just have Alex this week. We usually have 2 people. But one person dropped off this week, so oh well. We have some more time to chill on Alex's stuff. Don't need to rush. Here it is here. And furthermore, I went ahead and opened up like 7 tabs, is this? 6, 7 tabs? Of the game audio evaluation and critique requests of personal works. I have no idea what's in here. This is like from July up until November 11th. I guess it's the most recent one, eh? How often it happens? Like once a week or twice a month or something? I don't know. No idea. But anyways, a large reason that Matthew Martinson and myself decided to even do Real Talk in the first place and do this whole stream and start it off. If you weren't aware, Matthew Martinson at Clay Entertainment and I used to do this together. Matt would hold it down in the chat, and he often drops in anyways, but not by obligation anymore. Just hangs out when he can. But we started it because oftentimes on pages like this, I mean, this is where it often happens, is on these threads in r/gameaudio, there would be feedback that's like, this is great, it's very good. And you listen to it and you're like, it could be better. It could be a lot better. So just not, yeah, just a lot of bad feedback. And it wouldn't lead people to improve themselves in any kind of appreciable way. So we decided to do this stream instead, or I guess on top of the comments and such that are here, to hopefully give some, like a little more discussion. Not just about like the specific demo content, but about kind of common problems across portfolios and demo reels, and sound design techniques and approaches, and yeah, just having a bit of a community aspect to it as well, right? Because everyone's trying to, the whole rising tide raises all ships thing, right? So there's so much work out there. There really is. I mean, I always say that the distinction note down there, the criteria, is important to stand out in some way, because otherwise you're not going to get hired, or you won't be remembered to get that job. But I mean, the fact is, there's a lot of available work out there for audio, a lot. I mean, in Power Up Audio's first year, we worked on like 60 things just from hustling like crazy. It's definitely a doable thing. So here to help, hopefully. Bear in mind also that we are not the gospel, so if you don't agree with anything we're saying, that's fine, totally fine. It's all by suggestion alone. Also, these tracks, quixotic. It's good. It's very good. All right. So, if it's your first time on Real Talk, the gist is, beyond what I just said, the gist is we are looking at demo reel and portfolio content from game audio up-and-comers in the interest of helping them further their game audio career goals. All right? And that might be getting hired at a AAA studio like Blizzard or Bethesda or whatever, or being hired at a team like ours, or like Hexney Audio, or Team Audio, or whatever, various audio kind of third-party houses like we have. or perhaps just freelancing and working for developers just like one-on-one directly. So this is the idea. We're looking through this. Looking today, it's Alex Larumbe. I'm not sure how to say your name. I apologize for sure I butchered that. But we're looking through his stuff today and looking at presentation, material selection, content quality, and distinction. Just in the effort of trying to keep it on the rails, Matt and I a long time ago developed these kind of main footholds for conversation about your content. So presentation, we're looking at the website on the whole. Just, you know, flow and taste. It's good. Alex has stuff shoved in our face immediately. This is good news. If there's enough information there, if there's too much information there, really into this. This is great. Also, the demo reel itself, presentation-wise, looking at flow in the demo reel. If you're telling a story with it, if it serves its purpose as a standalone teaser trailer for you. For the material selection, we're looking at what that content might suggest about your current skill sets, your past work history, and your future ambitions. So that is to say, what kinds of games are in your demo reel. If you're doing rescores or redesigns of AAA content, probably means you work in AAA games. Whereas if it's kind of scattered, you have like a casino game and an indie game and a AAA thing, like a racing car thing, and like a surreal or some abstract art piece, it's not going to be as clear what your goals are, so it might not be quite so attractive to hire you on if you seem scattered. For content quality, we're looking at whether your stuff is good. If it's hitting that industry standard of awesome, it's kind of ever moving, hopefully up. And if it's not quite there, we're trying to, on this show, give you an idea of what you could be leveling up. If that might be putting more focus into your panning, or your dynamics, or your balance, or whatever. Well, you know. And the last one, as I said before, is distinction. Just simply, are you standing out? And that could be in any number of ways. You could be standing out because your stuff is freaking amazing, just sound-wise. You could have a cool logo. How cool is this? If your site's just slick, or if your demo reel flows nicely, like even if the content wasn't perfect, if you just stood out in a certain way, then next time you apply, they'll probably recall who you were, and you may have a better shot. Or perhaps you didn't quite make the cut this time around, but maybe they get a friend and ask them for recommendations. They say, yeah, I know a guy, I know a girl. How about this person? So it's very important to stand out in some way. All right. Back to the chat. Benny. Hey, buddy. Settings Con. Good to see you again. S. Mackey. Holy. It's Sam, right? It's gotta be Sam. Samuel Mackey. Take me back. Holy. Oh, yes. Good to see you, pal. Luke, I said, what up? Pop L2 spam. Jonathan? Is that what it was? It's too many names. I'm learning 2 names for everyone here. Tony. Yo. Justin. Kit Koo. What's up, buddy? Okay. So, let's pause. Sorry, Vincenzo Salvia. Time to go. Alex. Close enough, haha. Are you French? German. Okay. Hi there. I'm Alex, a sound designer from Germany. Is this zoomed in enough? We're at 150 right now. I'm gonna go a bit bigger just for the sake of the stream here. 200. Look at this dog. My God. Okay, hi there. I'm Alex, a sound designer from Germany, currently based in LA. I've recently finished my bachelor's degree in game and interactive audio after studying 3 years abroad in Manchester at FutureWorks. All right. I specialize in creating sound effects as well as developing neat ways to implement them. I especially enjoy finding unique sound resources to record, from the household junk to homemade fireballs, and even that strange dog I'm holding. So strange. I'm currently into League of Legends, Resident Evil 2, and Monster Hunter World. Cool. Good on you. These icons look low res. Just heads up on that. small details. Do they work? Does this go to where it's supposed to go? Oh, heck yeah. And LinkedIn, does it go? Oh, yeah. Wonderful. How about YouTube? Dang. 3 for 3. Instagram? Oh, beautiful. You nailed it. Okay, actually, I'm going to look at that again, though. Instagram, let's go. Okay. This is the content I signed up for. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you for that. Very good. Very good. This is great. It seems you're serious. Good on you. Okay. All right. So let's get back on the main page. Showreel? Is all it was there? What? Oh, because I'm zooming in so much. I can't see it. That's a consideration, eh? I can't see your buttons if I'm zooming in. So I'll have to stay at 150. Okay, let's go. Showreel about me and contact. That's it, right? Contact. And there it is. So, why do you... I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I've seen this before. Usually we'll see like this, or we'll see this. But having one back to back just feels kind of strange to me. It's like, which do you want me to use? But again, not a big deal. Like this kind of thing will never hurt you. I just think it's weird. Just having contact, like, hey, here's me. That's enough, probably. But oh, also, this is 3 things actually. So we have the contact form, which goes somewhere. We have Alex at Gmail, and this button goes to Alex at Outlook. So there's 3 different destinations here for email. Crazy. You madman. I'd pick one. That's fine. Just feels like that feels just weird. And the thing is, whenever something feels weird, it won't like. It just serves as a distraction, because what you want to do is like control the narrative of someone on your site as best as you can. So the narrative being like how they navigate you through your stuff and what they see first and where they might go after that point, and having like kind of predicting what a person might be looking at and what they might want to see, and trying to give them that thing. So oftentimes, I mean, right now, I'm concerned because there's nothing else in this page for portfolio, and we've got gameplay redesigns and ability and VFX designs. We'll see what that is. But whatever this is, it's standalone. And what I mean by that is that oftentimes we'll have a demo reel someone will have a demo reel, and it'll be like, here's thing 1 and thing 2 and game 1 and game 2, and like, oh cool, well thing 2 seemed really cool. What was that one? And then I would if I was on the page and I want to learn more about thing 2, I might go to the portfolio and try to find where thing 2 is, so I can learn more about like what the person did to achieve those sounds, or like what role they played in that project or something, right? So immediately, that's not here. I don't see a portfolio page. So that means this is all we got. And then also this is all we got. So mind you, there is a YouTube channel with some stuff on it. Oh, more. It's the same video. We're going back in. Okay. Yeah, it's like some recordings and stuff. That's fine. I might check that out afterwards, after we're done. So let's have a look at the sound design showreel. It's 30 seconds long, 31 seconds long. Okay, short. Let's have a look. Crank it, and sidechain off out of courtesy to you, Alex. And let's go. It's done, just like that. And it crashed? I have nothing here. Look at this. Oh, because it's the embed, probably. That's why it didn't like that. Yeah, definitely short. Let's go look at the ability one also and see what's up. It's 30 seconds also. I guess in total, it is now a minute. Exactly, it's 29 and 31. Let's have a look at this one too. Okay, one more of these. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, it's definitely on the trim side as far as content goes. You could you could easily marry these two videos into one thing. They're not that crazy different in terms of like the content therein. You could probably, I mean, yeah, 31 and 29, right? I mean, it's a minute. We love the minute. And again, I love the minute. I know that we had like Mike Moraski and Emily Ridgway on from Valve a long time ago, and Emily was like, I like long reels. I was like, all right, sure. So there you go. You're never sure what people like, but I think in terms of guaranteeing someone will watch your stuff through and watch it in a way you want them to, I think a minute's a pretty safe bet. So you are currently guaranteeing probably that people will watch your stuff through. That's a good thing. But yeah, the separation is kind of needless, and I just want to see more in general. It's just not doing a great job of like showing the I mean, it's not terrible, because the thing is that you've got like this action-y kind of stuff happening here. Yeah, it's cute. It's cool. And my complaint with these two is that it's like gameplay sound redesign, and it's as far as the source you've chosen for this gameplay is pretty minimal, right? I mean, it's like an ambience redesign, and there's some action, like the thing falling in the distance and stuff. But and then this one, it's a Big Daddy, right? I mean, you kind of walk and then do a thing briefly, and then keep walking. So I mean, there's not much to critique, is what it comes down to, right? And because there's not much to critique, it's difficult for, like, not just for me in this show and for the chat, but like it's difficult for someone who is reviewing this as a potential employer to really draw any conclusions. It shows like, hey, here's some cool Foley and here's some cool ambience. I'm like, yes, but I think that people would probably want to hear more than that. Excuse me. And you did a bit of that over here. You did some more action-y stuff, but this is so in isolation. And I mean, I've heard from peers in the industry, and it's my feeling also, that I don't really love the standalone examples of design. It's a cool exercise, and this is how you would do it if you were like working at Riot. You would have it standalone, you would design it by itself, and then put it in the game and see how it feels, maybe iterate, right? But I think for showing your design chops, in general, I think it's a bit stronger to show your stuff in action, like in a context where it's being used in gameplay. So like it says here, like gameplay sound redesign. I'd like to hear stuff happening in gameplay more than just the sound of the ambience. The ambience was cool. What you had there was good. It just wasn't much. Make sense? So let's talk about presentation first. Also, here it says sound design and implementation. And in your bio, it says, I like implementing things in interesting ways. Right? Didn't it say that? Yes, developing neat ways to implement them. Great. However, you are not quite demonstrating this yet. And I think it's a good start, and your Instagram shows like, hey, I'm recording stuff and so forth, and my dog's cute. And that's all very positive. But I think to claim this in like at the top of your page, it's it needs something to back it up. That's all. Hey Barney, what's up, buddy? By the way, I saw that freaking Sweet Justice helped with Half-Life Alyx. Okay, sweet. That's fun. I don't know if you were there soon enough to help with that, Barney, but that's pretty killer. Okay, let's go into the first one. I'm basically gonna treat these, Alex, as if they're the same video, because I think that's worthwhile. Because separate, they don't really make sense to me. You don't have enough here to like warrant it being separate. If it was like a minute each, and the gameplay was crazy and stuff, then maybe. But the thing is, going back to the narrative of what people will do on your page, they'll probably look at this one first, because like top left is pretty commonly like the first one, right? So let's go full screen again and have a look. So presentation-wise alone, be aware of safe area stuff. So right now your email address and your Twitter handle are being a little obscured by YouTube UI stuff, you know? So having things kind of within this area, it's like a general convention for media of any kind, like TV and film and so forth. Just trying to have this as like a safe area. You can just bring things in a bit, tweak your design a bit. Again, very nitpicky, but just a heads up. As far as this goes, we've got kind of the same thing happening a little bit. It's not brutal, but you know, we have this thing going on. Have it at lower third, really easy. Just have it right there instead of like right here for the top edge. Again, very nitpicky, but can't hurt. I appreciate you have the developer here and saying it's redesigned. That's everything you need to have, so good for you. And then it's up the whole time too. Good, thank you. And then here, we crossfade. Lovely. Tasteful. Bioshock 2. 2K Marin. Sound redesign again. Lovely. And that's it. And then we fade to the logo. All right. The logo's a cool start. I like the logo in general. I don't really understand it. Like, I don't understand. It's like, this is a dinosaur, I guess. Maybe I'm just not getting it. It's very possible. But I like it. And I like that you have this thing here and this thing here. That's excellent. Having some coordination between your site and the content is often overlooked. So thank you for that. However, you work in audio, my friend. Silence for a second and a half. I think that even just fading in with some kind of sound that operates like as a sound mark, you know, along your logo and such, or alongside your logo, I think that'd be great. And it also prevents people like me from saying, "Is my sound on?" Okay, yeah, it is. You know, you have that immediate moment of like, when they should be doing, okay, cool, let's get into this thing, right? Again, control that narrative and just predict what people will do and think. All right, so flow is fine. Just we'll get back to the clips contents in a bit. We'll then assume we transition directly into this content, okay? So we transition into this. This is kind of cool. Just like the gray box plus VFX. Pretty cool. By @Sir Raffles. What's their deal? Let's have a look at this. It's Twitter, I assume. /Sir. Oh my God, Kevin. /Sir Raffles. Okay. Cool. So they do VFX stuff, I guess. Retweeting VFX artist tweets. So I guess so. Cool. Yeah, nice. So just have some VFX stuff and designed it. I like that a lot. It's very cool. Jonathan says, my limited plugin subscription ran out today. The demo white noise synced perfectly with Alex's real intro. There you go. Sophia! How you doing? A sound cue at the beginning of the video could be a dinosaur roaring. They're thinking, you see? There you go. Yeah, cool collab. I like the idea of just like getting some content that, because this is the kind of thing I've never seen this before, right? And contrast to this, which we see a lot. I don't know what this particular ability, but may I ask if you applied at Riot and if this was your sound design test? If not, then cool. But the thing is, a lot of people apply at Riot, like hundreds, and a lot of people are given sound design tests, and then they end up not being hired, and then they put that sound design test in their demo reel, and it was something else entirely. Okay, interesting. But you did apply? Okay. So the result of this is that when you have League of Legends in your demo reel, my maybe assumption is the wrong word. A suspicion. My suspicion is that you applied to Riot and they didn't hire you. That's my guess. And then what that leads to is, whether it's founded or not, at least this psychological kind of thought process. It's like, well, they didn't hire you, so why should I? You know? That may seem kind of mean, but that's kind of how I feel about that. And the same thing goes for anything labeled like sound design pitch or like failed sound design pitch. I've seen things labeled as that, like failed pitch, and I'm like, why would you put a failed pitch in your reel? Just rename it, like rescore or redesign, and that's fine. Like, it's totally fine. Like, this is named, thankfully, sound redesign and not failed sound pitch. But be interested to hear your thoughts on people doing it in general. Seen it quite a bit with audio tests and reels. Like, beyond what it is said, I think in general you can do it. I think if it's recognizable as a thing, it comes down to that. It's a twofold thing with League of Legends, because it's I've seen enough League of Legends now that it's like, oh, it's League of Legends again, and that's my immediate response to it, just like kind of my gut reaction. And again, it's not even like it's before I've even heard anything. I'm like, okay, like, here we go, you know, which isn't a great headspace to be in. Whereas like this thing, I was like, neat. Like, what is this? This is super weird. And it's obviously like a VFX focused thing. I didn't even see the bias raffles the first time through, actually. I just saw the effects. It enraptured me, you know? So this is unique and so cool. So it comes down to the same thing as like people doing redesigns of Blizzard content, or of that Assassin's Creed 2 video or whatever, Revelation trailer, with the slow-mo like stabbing and stuff. It just, when you have the content that is done so frequently, it ends up that it's bad from a variety of angles, because you have this reaction from the viewer being like, okay, this again, and then you have the fact that you're then blurring into the crowd with everyone else who's done the same thing you have, and then on top of that, you are no longer just looking to impress somebody, you're looking to be better than everybody else who's done the same thing. And that goes for League of Legends, that goes for Blizzard, that goes for Assassin's Creed, that goes for like even now the implementation stuff, like the Unity Tanks project and stuff. There's like a lot of things that we see again and again. And when it's implementation, I'm more lenient. And I mean, in general, even for like the quality of the sound, because what that says, what that communicates is like, I am doing this to learn these things, and I'm a self-driven individual. And that's all you really need to communicate with that kind of content in a demo reel. If it sounds awesome, then bonus, but it doesn't even need to be that far, in my opinion. But yeah, so it's just, I think that you can do it if it's an audio test that you applied at some obscure company and they give you a test and it didn't work out. Maybe even they like canceled the project, or they just like didn't have funding or something, right? It wasn't even due to the fact that you weren't good enough. It just didn't work out. I think that if it's not a very well known thing, then sure. And assuming you have their permission to put it in your reel, of course, then put it in your reel. Hopefully it'll help kind of keep people's interest, because it's going to be unique content they haven't seen before. But I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is when it's unique and interesting, people will stay engaged. And when they're engaged, they will have a more favorable view of your content, and they will see all your content and hear it too. And that's what you want. Yeah, so this stuff, another small nitpick too, my friend. The titling, like these cards, are in different positions. Like the top edge, it moves up for League of Legends, and then it's like way different for this one, like way over there. So I think just the consistency is worthwhile to have across these various things. I didn't really understand. These caught me off guard. Like these bits, I'd seen this before. Sounds fine. This thing sounded cool. Liked it a lot. But then we got into this thing, and I was like, what is this? Because this now goes into... This is like one step better than SoundCloud, where it's like, here's a sound I made and a still image. Because it's cool from the aspect of, okay, you're just doing like sound design inspired from an image. And that's kind of a cool exercise. And I respect that a lot. Like the idea of having this like picture of a thing and being like, oh, what might that sound like? It's very cool. But I think from a hiring perspective, it's not that this is bad. It's that having content in context is better. So it's kind of like, it's similar to this stuff right here. Like this by itself is not bad, but seeing it in context is better. So this is almost like, this is kind of one step back from this. It's not just in isolation. It's also not even a game asset. Like it's not animating or anything, right? So, yeah, like this is not bad at all. This is a little bold. It is cool. I think it's cool to have like maybe on a secondary page, like, hey, here's some sound exercise stuff I did, where I put sounds to still images or like fan art or whatever it is. I can't even read this. See, there you go. Problems. This says also unofficial. There's no I. It's a typo right there. See? Unofficial. Twice. Same typo twice. 3 times. You probably just copy pasted those, right? Unofficial. All right. So unofficial sound design. I don't really know what that means. Like it's so I think like fan sound design might be an idea or something. Concept from the art of League of Legends. Yeah, I'm just confused. Because this is kind of like, it's like a sound redesign of an art book piece or something? Yeah, so when I see this, and it gets to it in the real, again, think real time, okay? So someone's watching your content through for the first time. You want them to be as focused on the sound as possible, and to be kind of distracted as infrequently as possible. Ideally, never, right? So this kind of thing popped up, and I was like, oh, what is this? And as soon as I'm thinking like, duh, I'm just kind of over here now and not just dialed into your work. You know? We'll get back to like how it sounds and stuff in a second, but we'll just talk about this gist. And then same thing with this. There's like, I mean, I don't play League. Is this League? Voidbringer? Ability sound design. Like, I don't know what this is at all. Voidbringer Ivern? Yeah, I just don't know what this thing is at all. So that's a problem by itself. So I think having a little more information, having the credit here is cool. Just like a, hey, by the way, this is by this person I collabed with, or excuse me, or whatever, as a courtesy or as a nod to them. That's fine. And then Bowmancer, what's up? Good to see you. And then, oh, this is the same thing. Sorry, this is a new clip. It's the same color and just about the same thing. Voidbringer Ivern still is. Same thing still? It is the same thing? It doesn't look like the same thing. I just don't know what this is at all. So I think that having some more content or more information there would be helpful. Okay, and then this ends, and again, silent and gone quick. I can probably be up a little bit longer than it is. Oh, man. Yeah, it's a little prompt at the end, maybe another second. But yeah, overall, like, it's not bad content, Alex. It's just kind of in isolation, and the implementation thing is missing entirely. Like, I would love to see, like, when I saw the about me, and you're like, I love finding I'm developing neat ways of implementing these sounds I'm creating. When I read that, I was like, sweet, let's see it. And then we just didn't see it. So I would like to, at some point, if you if you do that and have some neat implementation approaches you've developed, then sweet. Okay, let's talk about the material in general. So gameplay redesigns, we've got Alien Isolation, and we've got Bioshock 2. Great, and then we have this VFX thing. We have League of Legends, and then some concept, I think, League stuff. I don't know if you said if it was League of Legends or not in the chat. But, okay, so it seems like you want to be in AAA. There's a car alarm outside. Classic. It seems like you want to be in AAA, so you can confirm that or deny that in the chat. Let me know. Seems so. Mind you, League and those first-person shooter games are pretty different. Jeez. It must be getting towed. It's like getting closer. This honking. Or is it just driving around doing this? That's very possible too. Okay, it's done. There we go. Okay, so you want to be AAA. Awesome. I think tailoring your content to the kind of gig you want to get would be a good move. I mean, Isolation and Bioshock 2 are arguably similar games, in certain ways. They're both kind of like tense, and there's elements of horror in Bioshock, and there's a lot of horror in Isolation. Obviously both first-person shooters, obviously both gorgeous and very fleshed out worlds and such, right? Over here, we've got this like concept stuff, which is totally separate from these things. I mean, I guess creature voice, like horror stuff, it's still in the same kind of world, or neighborhood at least. But League is like a very different project than this. And it's not the end of the world if you have League and this in your reel, but again, it just can't hurt to be focused. So, like, do you know what kind of gig you'd want to land? Like, do you want to work on games like this kind of content, or do you want to just get a AAA gig in general and just see what you can get? Because I think it's a tough thing to decide, because I think a lot of people think like, oh, I'll take what I can get, and then they just sort of throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. But it ends up being something of a disservice, because if you are more focused, then you'll just end up being more attractive to a given kind of developer, right? So we've had, like, was it your reel, Barney, or somebody else's that was like really sci-fi focused, and they applied it to Cloud Imperium, and Cloud Imperium was like, yeah, sweet, that's us. I mean, as opposed to like if you apply at Cloud Imperium, who made Star Citizen, by the way, that's the massive grand scale sci-fi thing. If you apply at Cloud Imperium with like a League of Legends reel, they might be like, okay, sounds cool, but do you really want to work here? Like that might be a thought in the back of their head. So yeah, I would encourage you to give it some thought. Just think about the kind of jobs you want and what kinds of content you might choose to better focus your intentions, and communicate those intentions. Okay. But I did at least get the point that you wanted AAA, so that's good. Sometimes I have no idea, and we did not have that today. So let's go full screen. Let's talk about content a bit, yeah? Let's go. Okay, so you do want to go on this stuff. That's cool. That's good to know. Yeah, like, it's cool. My favorite guy, Josh Adam Bell. Yeah, similar. I mean, yeah, this is not a bad design piece, it's just so bare bones. There's not much to talk about, you know? Also, keep in mind, isolation sounds freaking amazing. My buddy Jeff Van Dyke was audio director on this project, and just rolled in and was like, "This game does not sound like Alien. It's got to sound more like big chunky buttons and stuff." And rolled in and just helped out, and it was awesome. Game sounds really good. So when you're redesigning stuff, bear in mind the source material and how good that source material sounds, because that's what you're up against when it comes to a redesign. Goblin Cave. James? Is that what it was? I've already forgotten. Says, I feel it's lacking some weight. Yes, I would use the word blurry in the sound design. I wanted more specificity in what I'm hearing. It seemed a little bit like you're leaning on reverb as a crutch. That's what I feel upon first watch. Watch it again. Yeah, there's so little to hold on to, you know? I mean, we have the feet are pretty light. I appreciate we're not trying to make too much noise. So that's a consideration, sure. But when you're doing clips like this, it's kind of on you to really sell the world you're in. And while the sounds you've made are fine, they're just not, like, again, they're not really selling like the gameplay thing, right? I mean, we've seen similarly kind of like clips that are similar in energy level, where someone is just walking through an area, like in Soma, for example, it's like walking through a lab, or walking through from a door into another room, and like through a thing and past some stuff. And the thing about those redesigns is the goal of them should be to sell the world as best you can, because the whole point of it is for ambience, right? So this is a cool like ambience design exercise, but it didn't really sell me on like the realness of the world. So even like the stuff falling here, I mean, I'm not sure what even is that like I've never played Isolation. I watched it played a bit, but is this where it like indicates the alien's gonna come out maybe or something like that? It's like a warning that they're in the vents or something like that. I think that's the idea. So it's Alien Isolation. So what's this game about? It's about being on this, I mean, being in a very like dangerous and dire situation where you can be, you know, killed at any moment basically. And the game is about the alien, like about the xenomorph, is what they're called. And this, if you didn't have the name of the game there and someone didn't know what game this was, they might not understand that tone. It may just sound like, oh, you're on a cargo vessel or something and there was a brief power surge. Or like there's no horror really being conveyed here. It's spooky. But the idea of like, this is the thing, like this is what this sound means or this event means. It's just, again, it's a gameplay thing, right? So if you're looking to sell your gameplay, that's important to think about what motivates sound design, like the sound choices you make, not in terms of what it sounds like, but like what kinds of sound you choose and where you put those sounds to inform player behavior and to flesh out the world and further immerse, you know, it's just all these things. So again, while this sounds fine, it just doesn't really sell like the alien aspect of it. So to choose Alien and then not have a clip that lets you really dig your or sink your teeth in. I was gonna say dig your heels in, sink your teeth in to sell what Alien's all about. It just seems like you're underserving yourself. Like you're doing yourself a disservice and you're making it harder than it has to be to really show your stuff, you know? So yeah, so someone mentioned like the lights, like the flicker, I guess it's like a power surge, I assume. It goes down and it's out. But we'll do the classic close your eyes. Let's do it, friends. All right, close your eyes. 3, 2, 1, and. Like, I didn't really get a power down and power up from that, if that's what you were trying to design. There's like a, ooh, like very quiet kind of here. Ooh, like it's there, but it's so subtle. And there's like nothing in the foreground as far as like stuff snapping off the lights, or like kind of more high frequency stuff, like they're like the stuff being powered that's near field. You might hear that more. The ooh is a good, it's a good layer to have in there, because yeah, it's like the sound of the ship on the whole. It makes sense to have it, of course, but I just want more near field stuff. That's all. Yeah, it's cool. Like the phrasing is awesome. Everything you have there is fine. I just want more. I just want more in the world in front of me. You did a good job of kind of like letting things cascade. It's a very rookie move. Oftentimes, the people have all these layers they like, and they just stack them, you know, and they go let them all play. But it shows some maturity in design to kind of, you know, stagger things and have different parts of the sound kind of bring attention to themselves and help tell the story over time. So good on you for doing that. Just, I want more near field stuff, okay? All right, moving on. BioShock. Yeah, I mean, it's like the exact same notes, basically. Oh God, this is gonna be annoying. I should just open it on YouTube instead. Can I do it there? Yeah, let's do it here. So it's really similar notes, honestly. You have a bit more going on near field. You have like the vent over here or something, or I actually don't know what that sound is. That in the background. Like, again, it just seems like if I count kind of if we take note of the various audio elements that call attention to themselves. Here we go. Footsteps. I know where those are coming from, for sure. Got it. Got the water now. It seems to be coming from here. There's some like shallow lapping also. I think there'd be more than we're hearing, though, in terms of the water. Water's tough, because water's so nuanced. It's tough to get it right. But again, BioShock, this is a game about water, so you better be sure to get the water right. So, okay, so I lost track of the various elements. Let's try again. That in the background here. So I keep them too soon or too late. So I don't know what that is. And then up there. I don't know if that. I don't know what that is. It's just some background thing. And now some groaning. Also just background. There's something like in the background also to the left. Yeah, like it's a bunch of cool sounds, but it's again just kind of vague in terms of where it's coming from. And if you're doing a clip like this, again, like I said, same notes, make sure you're selling what the things are that we're hearing. Like sell the room, like hearing the buzzing of the lights and the water trickling down. Here it seems like it's not much, but it's a little more than that actually. It's pretty significant. One more time earlier. So we have these fans. You could lean into the design like pretty hard here, Alex, and have this stuff real loud, like, you know? And once you're out of the room, you can drop it off significantly. And that'll just help, again, just help make a separation of like, oh, now we're in this room with the water instead. And the water's like kind of taking our attention away from the behind us. The water got louder? Good. But this is like all to our left, and it's not really like hard trickling. There's a lot of water drops here, you know, a whole lot on the ground. It's also not really on their left-hand side, so having a little more love given to this water would be nice. The groaning's cool. This is fine. I think it's an idle, right? This happens occasionally, so that's probably good for intensity level. Is there like a steam valve or something here? What is this? It's like, psst. We're not hearing that though. Probably would be. Yeah, and then also footstep-wise, how are we looking? One more time. It's kind of the same footsteps throughout, isn't it? Like, there's a bit of water there. I'm not sure. You can tell me if you design some water as a layer in here when you walk through. You even look at the water. You're like, shallow. And then walk through it. There's like a bit of water on that step, but not very much. If you did design that stuff to be a little bit different, like the stone and the metal, again, you're selling the world. So the footsteps are all we're hearing. Like, the footsteps are the foundation of this entire soundscape, really. As far as the most important thing we're hearing. I mean, this clip is about the world and about movement through it. So the movement is the footsteps. And yeah, you can definitely lean way harder into making the various surfaces heard. Like, this is like metallic here, some water, some stone, like some kind of tile, like concrete maybe, it looks like. There's some tiles here, stone tiles. And some garbage, or I don't know what this is. I have no idea. Some debris. And then the water here, followed by whatever these stairs are made of, maybe metal again. So yeah, just lean into it hard. I've said before in the stream, I'm not sure you were here for it, I have a very good friend, Jesse Turner at Clay Entertainment, and he's an artist, genius artist. He's a big fan of this method of iteration where, I'm going to do this for a second, here we go. Paint, here we go. So, if you're doing, let's say that this is, this mark here represents, this is too small. This mark represents where we're at for level of footstep differentiation of different surfaces, okay? That's where we're at. And I say, hey, I want this to be more different, okay? And then so you, okay, got it, Kevin, thanks. And you go, huh, and you put it to here. And now it's a little more different. And I'm like, no, man, no way. More different, come on, more different. So then you go here, a little more this time. Go there instead. Well, now I'm like, it's better. It's definitely better. Is this good enough? I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's fine. But the thing is, if you do this instead, so rather than taking that tiny step, I say, hey, make it more different. And you go, you got it. And you go like off the chart over here. Like, you know, go over here instead. This, Clifton, settle down. If you go over here instead, and I'm like, whoa, crazy. That is too crazy. You got to dial it back. Bring it back, please. Back a little more. The thing is, now we know that where we should be is somewhere like right here, right? It's somewhere in the middle. And it might be here, it might be here, but we know that it's here somewhere. Whereas if you just go to here and I say, not enough yet, we're like, well, I have no idea then. Like, how far do we have to go to get there? It might be this far, it might be this far. So if you just go way beyond, you then have the power of splitting the difference. And you can split it, and now even if you have like gone this far and we're here, like, hey, pull it back, then you go here. And we go, hey, cool. Actually, maybe a touch more. You're like, okay, got it. And you put it here instead. And it's done in 3 goes. Whereas in 3 goes before, we were like here, here, and here, right? But like this is where we wanted to be right there. Does that make sense? So yeah, don't be afraid to lean in hard on I mean, this is just one example, like differentiating the surface types, right? But it could be something as easy as like make this more intense, or you know, make this more wet, or whatever the revision note might be, or whatever you're trying to achieve in something. You can just you know, crank it, and then you can pull it back. Pulling it back is way easier than like inching forwards forever until you're hopefully there at some point. All right. Okay, so that's enough of that one. Let's glance at abilities. Mystery Light. Hi there. What up? The quick sort of sound design. Yes, what's up, Serpo? You got it. Okay, let's have a listen to these cool VFX things. I love that little tonal like. Oh, and the little tail too is so cute. It's strong, man. I like it a lot. I feel like, here, give me a second. I feel like you could probably stand to, I'm just gonna try something here. I just want to see this. This will be a hot second, sorry. If I think I can do this. This might be a trick, but I'm ripping your sound right now, by the way. There it is, yep. So I'm ripping this sound out. Let's put it somewhere usable. Sure. Audio 706. Got it. I'm only doing this because I have time and we only have you today. Otherwise I would not be. We'll call this a Larumbe. Cool VFX thing. So cool. All right. We'll go on to here. Lovely. There it is. Okay. There it is. Let's copy that link. Give me a hot second, all right? We're almost there. Almost there. Okay, and last step. Trying not to break NDAs also. Gotta be careful what I show on stream. That's the one, yeah. Download this. How? How do I... Oh, they changed the UI. What the heck? Download. Thank you. Sorry, my network is being annoying right now, so I can't just do it easily. Show folder. All right, here we go. So let's open up RX. Here it is. Thanks for your patience, friends. Here is the sound you've made. With some noise from my system. There you go. So what I want to talk about is that this section here, like from 2 up, is like pretty careful. I think you could probably stand to pull some more highs in. Like up here, we almost nothing happening. I would be careful with it. I mean, it can be pretty piercing and pretty abrasive really easily, but you can go further than you are. Right now, you've got this kind of shape to your sound design. I think this goes for the majority of your sound design, actually. It's in the League of Legends clip also. You've got kind of this focus in this area, and it kind of peters off as we go up. You know, it just falls off, or it stays like kind of very measured. But I feel like you're scared to push your highs. You have like a little bit right here, you know, and a little more towards the very end here, which you should, because it is the big hit, you know. It's the most important part of the clip, so it better be more broadband, or at least different. But overall, it's kind of like you have the same kind of makeup across this stuff, you know? You see that? And I think you could probably afford to have a little more differentiation when you're telling a story like this. And in fact, just in your design in general, you can have more highs. Yeah, this is awesome. This sound, awesome. Cute, so cute. Little whoop, little cheeky whoop here. All right, yeah. So let's listen to League of Legends now, and keep that in mind of your highs being kind of very careful about showing up at all to the party. Yeah, man, like the the highs we have are like the shing of the blade at the end. That's the main of the highs at all. And like the ching at the beginning a little bit. And keep in mind, highs are pretty damn important for sound design because they are what punch through the mix. You know? If you've got all the, let's say, I mean, league aside, you have some game, there's music playing, there's other abilities, other like combat happening. If you focus your sound design in like a mids range, I mean, it might be okay as long as you're very sure that it fits in the mix in terms of the frequency content of other elements at play, like when it's playing at the same time. But in general, you might be a little risky if you're doing that because, well, for a few reasons. One of those reasons is that, A, it might not be heard through the other elements in the mix, like I said. Another reason is that people have different systems they're listening on. So if you have, you don't have anything as egregious as this, but I've had examples of people doing sound design in the past where they have like lows and like sub lows and like some low mids, a few low mids in a sound. And the trick with that is that not everyone can hear those on their laptop speakers or their earbuds or whatever they're listening to your content on, right? So it's important to remember different systems playing also, different systems playing back your content and what that might come across as. So with this one, it might be quiet just because you have a lot of like kind of lower content in there. The pre-blast and the blast. Oop. The 1-2 right there. I like it a lot because it's very rounded out. I'm a big fan of like round sound design, and you are doing a great job of that, where there's no like hard edges as far as hard starts or like abrasive kind of like gritty stuff or anything. That's really well synced, sounds great, just is missing highs in a big way. So look into that. Just it could be as simple as just like shelf on your EQ, you know? In fact, let's just try that, I'm curious. I have a EQ right here. I got one at the ready. High shelf. Let's go. I'm gonna pull it up at like 2K or something. A lot, like 10 dB. Let's see what we hear. Here? Yeah, it's like, oh. So this, oh, there's your sound on my timeline. Sorry, get rid of that. Yeah, like that's a pretty significant shelf I just added in, and it's still kind of fine, you know? Like 10 dB up in your highs, and it's still okay. The only thing that was a bit much is the impact to start with, but it's still fine. It's not bad, you know? Just, that's literally all it is, just like a whoop, just crank the highs up. Okay. Probably wrap it here. I don't really need to comment on this stuff too much. I mean, like, yeah, it sounds cool. It sounds cool, but I have nothing to comment because I haven't seen it in context. And games are a very dynamic and interactive medium, so showing your stuff in context is really important. Like this is only slightly better than having just a SoundCloud link with a waveform. It's a bit better because we have some inspiration and image and stuff, but it's not that much better. Yeah, like it's fine, probably, but I have no idea because I haven't seen it in context. So, all right. So in terms of, I mean, overall, I hope there was some helpful feedback there. I think distinction-wise, again, down the criteria, presentation-wise, you have a real bare-bones site. What you have is fine, just you claim implementation in 2 places and don't show it. So try and get some of that in there. Get that typo dealt with. I think having one thing to look at in the front page, just like one all-star teaser trailer for you, would be great, as opposed to having the two things that might split people's attention, or not, you can't control what people watch first or watch at all. And for the reel itself, just get some of this, your titling in a better place, get just some more content that maybe will better showcase your ability to, or showcase your gameplay sensibilities, because your sound design's good. It's fine. Like I have no problems with what you put here. I just want to hear more, but more in terms of frequency content and more in terms of the kinds of things you're showing off, right? More service differentiation also, more of that. Crank it up. Yeah, that's probably good to end it right there in terms of, well, yours at least, Alex. We can glance through some game audio stuff for the next 20 minutes. But distinction-wise, I think you're not quite standing out yet, just simply because of the implementation thing and because a lot of people have they'll demonstrate they're implementing various stuff, and it just looks really good. Like have a video where you're like, here's a video of me, and I'm putting stuff in the game. Check it out. Neat, right? Like narrated. You can try that out. And also, I'd love to see it again. So if you have new content, then let me know for sure, and I will be thrilled to have a second look. All right. So thanks a lot. Claps, please. Okay. Close. So we have game audio. So on Reddit, r/gameaudio. And before I carry on, Alex, of course, if you have any more questions or clarification on stuff, feel free to hit me up on Twitter or elsewhere, and I will happily let you know. So I haven't looked at this for a long time, like longer than I've even got open on these tabs probably. From July 22nd through to November 11th, there's like 7 tabs here. 7, yeah. So we'll just glance. And you're very welcome, Alex. Cheers. Hope it helped. Let's do this one first. Doesn't really matter. I don't need to go into detail on this stuff. I'm just curious what people are working on. So love some feedback on this piece I wrote. Yeah, it's like cool. Just it's a bit exhausting. It just sort of starts and stays there the whole time. Like it starts immediately. It may even be flirting with some distortion, but yeah, compositionally fine, just sort of non-dynamic. Sounds good. Very atmospheric. Good job. Okay. Last week, I finished making my first resound for my portfolio, and I would love to hear feedback on it. I'm planning on doing another one soon, so any criticism will be kept in mind for my next resound. Thanks in advance. You're welcome, Brizzle196. Let's have a look. What? Sorry, we'll start again. I was like, this is silent apparently. Let's go. Whoa! It's kind of funny. okay, so the big thing with the music is it's like cranked the entire time. This opening freaked me out. It is cranked, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of attention given to the energy level over time. The music's also pretty like unchanging. Mystery Light, by the way, you can just send some stuff to us on Twitter down here at Power Up Audio or at ReggameK. That's me. Power Up Audio is the team. And we will just let you know when we can slot you in. We have one spot next week. We already have things ready. If not, then no sweat. We'll find a spot for you sometime in the future. And if you're not on Twitter, you can go to our website and use our contact form there instead. That's another option. Okay. So yeah, music just is cranked and kind of unchanging. The change is like kind of cute and is very Saints Row, so sure. It's just like kind of comedy. The change back was also kind of comedy, so sure. It's like a little maybe too crazy, but sound-wise, I mean, sound and music is often a bold move. Especially because, keeping in mind that a game like Saints Row would never have the same person doing music and sound design. You would have specialized individuals doing different parts of the game because it's a massive project. The only time that it really happens that one person does everything. Jeff Van Dyke, name comes up again, the audio director on Alien Isolation. Jeff Van Dyke also did all the sound work for a game called Assault Android Cactus, which is freaking amazing. What a good game. And yeah, he did all the sound design, all the music, and all the voice direction and stuff, and he killed it. And he's a unicorn though. Like, it doesn't happen very often that someone can do all those things and do a good job. So bear in mind that this kind of resound is not really helpful to you anyway, because it might be fun. It's a fun exercise, but if you're looking to get hired in this job, this is not a job that exists. You'd be better off doing only music or only sound design and aiming for one of those roles. Or if you want to do both those things for games in general, then don't pick AAA projects because it's just not accurate to what the world needs. And the world of, when I say world, I mean the potential employers out there. They just don't need someone who has both those things when it's this level of, like this echelon of game development. You might be better off choosing some indie project or something and saying, hey, look, I did all of this, if you really do want to do both those things. Sound design wise, I mean, it's really crazy. I think that your sound kind of suffers from the same thing your music does, and it's very undynamic. It's like, it's very loud at all times. The whooshes and stuff. Yeah, okay. All right. I can't deal with this music anymore. Yeah, just there's more. Okay, I do want to see this actually. What's up? What is this? Clip, go. Oh, it's almost done. Spooky. Okay, you're leaning on reverb real hard too. Careful of that. It's easy to put reverb on a sound and be like, ooh, it sounds so big and rich and full. It's like usually not the case. I'd recommend you choose where you think it's perfect and then dial it back like 10%, maybe 15%. That's probably where it actually is perfect. I would say your sound right now is kind of generalized in that the things are synced to events happening, but it's not really based in the world. It's like, it's kind of just full and stereo. The door closing might be the one exception to that. No, but even then, you hear the reverb. The reverb carries through the change in the clip and stuff. So, carry on. Crystal, let's go. It's carrying on. That's not bad. It's cool. Yeah, it's just very, whoa, Jokers. What the heck? It's just very generalized. We hear like doof, doof, doof for body falls, but body falls are a little more nuanced than that. So you can dig your heels in on details. Also, gun makes the same sound as every shot. You mean? Yeah. Also that. It's all the sounds sound the same. And while that can be kind of like campy and work for some projects, I don't think it would work for that game. Recreated audio for a frost fatality from Mortal Kombat. Let's go.
Fatality. Frost wins.
Boom. Is Steven here? Where is Shapple Juice? Steven was here. I don't know if Steven designed this sound, but yeah, Steven's at, what's this company called? NetherRealm? Is that right? NetherRealms? Yeah, again, it's very generalized. We've seen more specificity in the sync and of the sounds that those various smaller articulations and moments would make. And by smaller, I mean like the things between the big action points. So when we shove it in here, it's not just like a and it's done. You know, that's so, but there is like various stuff happening inside here. It would be more than a, it's not that sound, you know? It's like a, it's like a, at least. Or you might hit like a bone or two on the way in or something like that, you know? So having a little more detail on the in would be great. Also, this is a frost fatality. So having more of that kind of like ice and shimmery high frequency stuff would be great. Also telling a story with this stuff. This is really gross, by the way. I apologize to the viewers at home. Telling a story here is really important, and there's various story points. So here we go. It's like drill goes in, drills inside for a second, grabs some stuff, rips it out. There's like some bowels and stuff, or not bowels, innards like come out, and there we go. So let's focus there, okay? This, in terms of frequency content, should change, and the sounds being made should change to go along with these story points changing. It's not this happening and the same thing, the same thing, the same thing again. It's not for the same-ish things happening in a row. It's for very different things happening in a row. So the sound should be also very different to reflect that. We go in, and it's like, play out. It's kind of the same sound, you know? Here we go, and it's all the same stuff. Whereas like, that shows like an in and an out, as opposed to or doesn't sound like in and out. It sounds like the same thing twice. So think more about what story is being told and reflect your sound design to suit. Moving on, let's do compose some music. Move on from that one. We'll focus on sound design. Hey guys, I'd be grateful if you could check my first resound video, Diablo 4 gameplay. Okay. Bold move. Diablo sounds pretty good. Let's see. It's a minute long, wow. Ooh, fire was still going there. That's good. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, the one thing that I think you could think about a little more is, again, back to that story point thing. So when you're making these like ice projectiles or the fireball and stuff, there's probably going to be an inherently more important part of that story that you should be considering in terms of the balance between the various parts of that storyline. And by the storyline, I mean like thing forms, shoots, and impacts, right? That's the story being told. So in this case, we have like the forming, or even that fireball. So one clip here with like the ice projectile and fireball. Is it here? Yeah, so this one's good. Like this forming is cool because the casting is quiet and like wide. It makes sense. It's a good choice. And then the impact is big. It's great. The fireball, however, like if you close your eyes, it's not really obvious when the impact happens. Like you can tell because I've seen it, but it's like, and there isn't really much separation between either the frequency content or the just balance, like the volume of the forming and shot versus the impact. And the impact is the damage dealing part. That's what's most important to the player. The player pressed the button, they know they're making a fireball. So some audio feedback's nice to have to be like, hey, you pressed it, and it's happening, good job. But the impact is the uncertain element there. You press a button, it will form a fireball, but it might land. Like the damage might be dealt, right? So in this storyline, I would argue that the forming is less important than the impact to the player as far as player feedback is concerned and informing them what's happening. So in that sense, I would turn the forming down and leave maybe the impact where it is volume-wise, but just make sure it's different. Yeah, I don't love the thunder as much because it's so wide and stuff. It's like all around us. I think it's happening when it hits the characters. I can actually tell, which is a problem. I'm not sure what is driving that sound effect. So I think having more, I mean, the stuff in here, like the bow shots, the door opening, like it's all really measured, and that's cool. It's I think even the ice impact might be too big, but the overall Diablo sounds great in terms of it's just very like the sound design is so singular and yeah, I guess like measured is the word I would use. Like it's very careful kind of sound design. It's not like when you open a door, it's not like and it reverberates everywhere. It's like just opens. Just kind of helps to. I feel like it helps sell the smallness of you and how it's like many small things can kick your ass. But yeah, it's like the bow shots sound great. I think even this impact could be more centralized, like more point source. It's a bit wide. I think the wide element's good to have in there to show the power and the like the I guess it's like the enormity of sorts, but having it impact obviously there would be good too. Yeah, very cool though. It's nice. Nice work. I would like some feedback on this. Hey, Bean. What's up, buddy? I would like some feedback on this. Oh, did I tell you my shirt came? Thanks, pal. It made it, like, very fast. I would like some feedback on this. I made it with an epic indie game in mind. Oh, is it like a track? Probably is. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Moving on. I'm going to do game sound stuff. We have like 5 minutes left. Let's do... Hi, everyone. I'm Rowan Deshpande. Ooh. And this is a sound design demo reel featuring the game For Honor. All video materials have been used only for demonstration purposes. Original content is the property of Ubisoft. The trailer was used for a personal project. Most of the sounds were created by me using synthesizers, live recordings, audio manipulation. Background music was purchased from an online library. Ah, leave it out. Leave it out, dude. Leave out the music. I don't want it. Mike the Human says, good start. Okay. Spent some more hours on it. It's classic resound. Holy mother of constructive feedback. Okay, great. I guess this is a good bit of feedback. Hopefully it is. Seems like it was. Let's have a glance. 3 minutes. Holy. Yeah, so immediately, this could get more love. There's a lot going on visually and not much orally. We have the impact, but not the... Again, it's the story being told, yo. Stuff falling, all forms up into the Ubisoft logo, and it blasts, lands. Get that story, the whole story told. That part's missing. Carry on. I do like the background yelling though, it's cool. Let's go. Whoa, it was a loud bird. That bird was real loud, yo. Careful of that. So one thing is that you've got this like wind and stuff. Some breeze, some birds. And when the rumbling starts happening, the birds go away, which I kind of get. I assume your thought process is like, oh, the animals went quiet, it's like spooky. But I think there'd still be wind, wouldn't there? Yeah, rumble alone is a little strange. Moving on. Yeah, classic. So a lot of like really good generalized sound design. The rumble is great. You can leave it all in there, but we need... The focus here is on these rocks. It's not on the fact there is a big quake happening. The camera is showing these rocks specifically. So we should be hearing these rocks specifically. And we are not. We heard none of them. So this is a bit of a classic resound or redesign of sound because we have like probably 30% of the sound is what should be there is in there so far. Whoa! That should have been like way more powerful. We gotta hear those moments. The bloosh, each one. This rushing and then also the bloosh each time. Out and then one more time. Bloosh. Gotta hear that. I actually haven't seen this trailer. This is really cool. Very cool trailer. I've kind of seen enough though, in terms of I assume that the rest will be similar in terms of its detail level. That's some good detail there. So that kind of stuff there, right there, Rowan. Like this is great, in terms of, like I believe that's the sound of those rocks. You know, whereas compared to the rocks crumbling in this shot, we hear none of it. You know, so just put more time into the details, definitely, and think about what the meaning of each shot is, what the story focus is. And bring that focus to the front of the mix. So if the rumbling is always there during this whole section, it probably would be, right? But it might not be what the viewer or listener needs to be focused on right now. So you can have it lower in the mix because they already know it's rumbling. They know there's like earthquakes happening and stuff. And you can bring stuff like the specific parts of the building smashing down and stuff. Bring that to the front of the mix rather than the overall rumbling. Okay. Let's glance at maybe a couple more and call it right there. September 30th. Okay, hi guys. Audio School, ask community for opinions. I separate them out in two parts. One on sound design, one in technical game audio implementation integration. Okay, cool. Let's glance at sound design first. Let's go. It is too long. Whoa! One more time. Cool. That was wild. Yeah, classic school clip. Horse chase? Okay. Moving on. This is all film stuff. Oh, one of these. Yeah, this is also classic. I was saying earlier, like the clips that we've seen 1,000 times, this is one of them. I've seen this clip probably 100 times, literally. Moving on. I just don't want to see it. I literally just don't want to see it again because I've seen it so many times. Yo. It's hard making games like that sound good with the frequency of shots and stuff. I got like a little more feedback as far as what's happening in the gameplay. But that's cool. Like that rocket and stuff, you know? Whoa, yeah, dude, fix your... I think this pops in. It's like, it clicks there, and at the very end it clicks also. Hard pop. Fade your stuff. But otherwise, there's some cool stuff in here. I just have no idea what you want to do. Like, do you want to work in games? Do you want to work in film? You're posting an r/gameaudio. Yo, here it is. VFS. Yep, there it is. Okay, so I just don't know what you want to do, Andres. I don't know, because there's a lot of stuff in there. So focus it on games if you want to work in games. Focus it in film if you want to work in film. Okay? But game audio stuff.
Hi, my name is Andres Medina, and this is my game audio reel.
Oh yeah?
In this clip, you can see how I implemented reverb for specific rooms on this demo by Audio Kinetic.
Like, this is awesome. If you're still watching Feral, this kind of thing is very effective. Because I liked your sound design, and I would love to see this kind of thing, like you narrating it. I would watch the whole thing. Because your sound design's good. If your sound design was not good, I wouldn't want to watch it. But it is, so I would. Alright?
I use Audio Kinetic's AK environment script, which lets you define reverb zones in Unity. In Wise, I selected all the elements that would need reverb using the game-defined auxiliary sense. I created two auxiliary buses, one for the indoor environment and the other one for the outdoor environment. I instantiated the reverbs in the effects tab of the auxiliary buses. Using the Y speaker in Unity, I selected
Cheers,
these
Jonathan. I'll see you around.
depending on the room. One for the indoor environments.
Yeah, cool. His sound is like pretty good for VFS.
And the other one for the outdoor environments. I also used the AK environment portal script to help the transition between reverb zones. Here you can see a dynamic ambient system designed in Wise. Using a time of day RTPC from Unity, I used blend containers to mix day and night
Yeah,
in
classic.
random containers.
Cool. Oh, here's that game.
Calculate time to survive the attacks of the enemies. The music system is designed to react to these changes. To achieve this, we use three different states in Wise: time freeze, time rewind, and normal time. These states would change using the set state event. So for example, when freezing time, the event would trigger a one-shot sound, a loop, and set the state to time freeze. Exiting from freeze time would trigger a one-shot sound and set the state to normal time. To make the music react to the time freeze, we use a time stretch plugin in Wise and set the bypass filter. Some other mixing tools I used were the voice limiting tool to control the amount of enemy explosions.
Cool, Andres. Good for you. VFS, killing it. All right. And Soundwave. My intent is to get into sound design implementation. I want to get into game sound design. Cool. Let's have a look.
Hi everybody. My name is Rafael Castillo, and this is my demo review.
Whoa! 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 Holy! Like I've been saying, make sure you focus on what the most important thing to the player is, and make that the loudest. Don't make everything loud. Yeah, sure. Okay. Oh, recording. Yeah. And more. Alright, good. Evil Headbite. I'll see this one. Sure. Yet, sound like that. Yeah, I don't really care about this kind of stuff as much. I much more care about like what was in Andres's video. These are kind of cool. Like the general world likes these things. It's like, oh, neat sound design. But I think as a getting hired tool, unless you're doing something really interesting with your layering, and not just like it sounds layered up, then this isn't that beneficial to you, I don't think. That's my take, at least. It seems like that's your focus here. You have a bit more, like this stuff's more interesting. This kind of thing, be like, hey, here's a cool thing I did with like an RTPC or with a state change or whatever. That's kind of cool. But yeah, this can probably get out of here. Thanks for watching. Happy to. I watched some of it. All right. So probably call it there. This is very last. Farthest Empire Soundworks. Okay. Last one. Let's see what this is all about, and then we'll call it there. All right. Oh, just music. Then whatever. I'm not concerned. Okay. Well, claps to all you r/gameaudio evaluation critiques requests people. Maybe I'll link this stream or this VOD or something in those chats. But and thanks everyone for hanging out. And next week we've got at least one person, and maybe a second if Mystery Light submits some stuff. We'll see. But much love, chat, and I'll put this back on. So good, super good. Into it. All right, thanks a lot. And I will see you next week. All right, cheers.